So finally, we're getting honest opinions about Hogwarts Legacy. We have a brand new, I guess you would call it, early review of someone that has played the game through and through from beginning to end. And apparently they could share a lot of the details. We're not going to go into anything that is spoilerific towards the story, so don't worry about that. Now, I am going to throw a video guide in the description below, so if you want to skip ahead to details such as how good is the open world, is it repetitive in terms of dungeons and that sort of thing, well, we're going to get into all of that. And let me tell you what, there's some really cool brand new details in here as well. Also, check this out right here. That's right, I'm doing a very big next-gen console giveaway. So for a chance to win a PS5, Xbox Series X, or Nintendo Switch, be sure to follow that link in the pinned comment. Good luck to everyone who enters. So yeah, let's begin with the post right here. This comes from Hogwarts Insider, who says this: "My name is Taylor. I'm a former QA tester for Hogwarts Legacy and son of design director Chad Liddell. I worked at Avalanche when the initial leak came out, and I witnessed the awesome rise of the community and always wanted to participate. Recently, I received permission to play the game early and make help videos for launch, and would love to hear anything you would like to learn about when the game is actually out. I'm still bound by an NDA, but there's a decent amount I can say. Is there anything you would think will be difficult to grasp, or things you just want to know more about? Of course, I can't say much until the game is actually released, but I would love to hear your questions. Oh, and you could dive underwater in the game conditionally." So here we go. Let's get into all the details now. And if you're like me and you're wondering, hey, back up, how do we know if this guy's even real? Well, it was verified by the mod team. So yeah, let's get straight into his impressions of Hogwarts Legacy, which, by the way, he did complete the full game. But it goes on to say this right here: "Is there a lot to do? How many hours does the game actually give?" And we have an answer right here from Hogwarts Insider. Says, "I feel like this is a difficult question to answer because everyone has a different idea in their head on what a lot to do is. For me, the game is massive with a ton to do. It feels gargantuan, but it doesn't feel like it has a lot of dead, repeated content as I see in other large open world games. In other words, it's not bloated." I love to hear this, and I spoke about this previously in videos. It's so good to hear that they just didn't add space to, add space, and to have marketing campaigns saying this world is absolutely massive, it's bigger than like Skyrim or something like that. That's not necessary in open world games. I want detailed experiences in open world games with unique environments, stories, and that sort of thing. It seems like Hogwarts is going to deliver. Now, says this right here: "What I'm most curious about is the open world. I wonder what you could say about the density of it, like finding caves and stuff that isn't outpost copy-paste stuff." Great question once again, and it's been confirmed. It's very dense. I've never seen two dungeons that are the same, even if they're thematically similar. So this is not a copy and paste game. It is very much a handcrafted experience, which is great to hear, because we've heard so many things about upcoming games where it's like, hey, we're going to have like 1,000 planets or something like that. For me, it's about the handcrafted material. I want to hear about that. Now, furthermore, it goes on to say this: "How many, if any, wand choices are there?" Great question right there. A lot of you guys are wondering that. And guess what? We have a ton of options when it comes to wand choices, which is going to be really cool. And I'm curious to see how many of you choose the dark side. Now, furthermore, we have this one right here from Lucky Arsenal, who says this: "Does the world outside of Hogwarts have a lot to do in terms of activities, exploring, and questing?" And the answer is yes. It's a massive game. There's going to be a ton to do, and we're going to talk about the end game, I guess you would say, here in just a moment as well. Now, furthermore, we have Blazing Doom, who says this: "In the game, is there Victorian style clothing such as suits and ties?" And that's kind of a question, I guess, tying into Fantastical Beasts. Can you make your character look like something like that? And the response is this: "I'm not an expert on the Victorian style, but there's a massive amount of clothing. All of it looks fantastic, and much of it looks Victorian to me." So it seems like that is going to be perhaps an option to where you can kind of make your character look more Fantastic Beast approach versus, I guess you would say, Harry Potter. And he was also asked what is his favorite part of the game so far, and he did complete the game again. He says this, let me zoom it in, "That's tough, but I'd have to say dark magic, especially after it's upgraded with talents." Yeah, I have no doubt that dark magic in this game is going to be extremely popular. Also, goes on to say this, without being specific, are wands anything else than just cosmetic? How customizable are the bedside tables? And are there any differences in the game based on house choice? That last question for me is the best one right there. Now, Hogwarts goes on to say this, haha, I love your bedside table question. You got me thinking about the room of requirements. It is ridiculously deep and downright massive. The marketing video showed a lot, but really didn't touch the surface. Creative types will have a heyday with it. There are differences in the game based on your house choice, but I can't go into specifics. Sounds like that's very much under NDA right there, but we do know it seems like your house choice is going to have some sort of influence on whatever happens in this game. Curious to see what that means exactly, but I'm glad that they aren't spoiling stuff. Furthermore, it says, is there variety to quest types, or is the focus primarily on linear adventures and fetch quests? Did we understand correctly that the mounts are Broom, Hippogriff, Thestral, and Graphorn, or are there more mounts to be discovered? Furthermore, do the talents and upgrades result in different gameplay builds, or is personalization focused on cosmetics? Man, let me tell you what, you guys are nailing the questions first and foremost, and the answer is this right here, answering what I can. There are an extremely wide variety of side quests, ranging from little quests that take you 5 minutes to massive quests that I personally think are as good or better than the main quest line. And that's saying something. You can create widely different builds using talents. Frankly, I've been surprised they haven't talked more about it as one of my favorite things about this game. I wish I could spill the beans. Anyway, thank you for your question. So it's great to hear you can really kind of customize your character in terms of actual gameplay beyond just cosmetics. And it sounds like it's kind of deep, which is awesome to hear. Now, Timmy goes on to say this right here. Thanks for the answer. Would you be able to give me a rough idea of how hard the difficulty modes are, like comparing to a Souls game or God of War? I guess even though it's a very different game type. I've always wondered this, so let's get into this. It says, it's difficult for me to answer this because I put thousands of hours into the game. If you are looking for a God of War or Souls-like playthrough, though I would put it on hard, it isn't as different as you may think. So yeah, there's going to be options for difficulty. Don't go in here expecting it to be tough as nails. You can make it tough as nails, it seems like that, but you are going to have options if you are just wanting to like chill, relax, and enjoy the story. And then we have this one right here. How do you feel about the NPCs in the game? Is there enough variation that it doesn't feel you just passed someone doing the same thing you saw another doing? And we've seen some clips of the NPCs, and it's looking great so far. And the response is this. Speaking for myself, I'm impressed with what they have done. There was a point where I stopped paying attention to them and then got sucked in by a particular interaction at the train station. It made me want to sit there and watch. A dark wizard was humorously trying to sell a niffler. So yeah, there are some hilarious things that do happen in Hogwarts Legacy. I've seen some clips, but I feel like I don't want to spoil that type of stuff for you guys. But yeah, so far from what I've personally seen from like leaked gameplay and things like that, the game is shaping up to be fantastic in the regards to the world and NPCs. Now, we have consistent time 2489 who says, which area of the map did you find the most joy in and the most fun and interesting to experience? Hogwarts, Forbidden Forest, Hogsmeade, etc. And the answer is this right here, and it may surprise you. It says this. My favorite area is well south of Hogwarts, an area that hasn't been shown yet. Thank you for asking. So there is a mystery area, apparently, that we have yet to see, which gets me hyped. Now, we have Jake who says this. So happy to find a place to ask this. Manage my expectations. How many fantastic beasts can be added to the Varium? If you can't give a specific number, could you please let me know if we've seen a majority of the beasts already? And yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be addicted to like collecting beasts and things like that. And Hogwarts says this. I think each Varium is capped at 16 beasts. Note, this includes duplicates of the same species. I'm not familiar enough with all the marketing material to know if they've shown them all. Good question. So to me, it sounds like plenty to do in that regard. And Are there collectibles aside from the filled guide pages? You know, any good open world game has tons of collectibles, and yes, it has tons of collectibles in Hogwarts Legacy. I wasn't doubting that whatsoever. So if you're like a collectible junkie, you're going to be happy here. Furthermore, we have hello. Have you played any other open world games? Would you say it's similar with any other games like Skyrim or Elden Ring, or more like story driven like God of War? Also, would you say it's a game for non-Harry Potter fans? Thanks. I've seen so many of you that openly admit, hey, I'm not a Harry Potter fan, I'm interested in this. Here's the answer. Hogwarts says, yes, I've played a lot of them. To me, it feels like a hybrid between God of War, Skyrim, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Wow, okay. I think non-Harry Potter fans would also enjoy this game. Yeah, I totally agree. This game is looking fantastic, and I think it's going to create new Harry Potter fans for sure. Furthermore, we have first one is two-pronged. Have you tested the game on PC during your work? And since it's a game made in Unreal, when does the game compile shaders during load or during gameplay? Second, can you continue playing after finishing the main story? Thanks. So we're kind of getting into what I call like the end game. And here's the answer. My belief is that it does it up front, but I could be wrong. I'm using a non-release build. Also, yes, you can keep playing. Edit, I've only played on PC. And from what I've seen, by the way, from leaked gameplay after the day one patch, if you guys want to know from what I've witnessed, is that it's looking really, really sharp in terms of quality. Like there aren't game-breaking bugs every single second, which is wonderful to see. And yeah, seems like there isn't going to be like much of an in-game here in terms of, you know, like Destiny or something like that. But you will very much be able to go out there and continue doing side quests and things like that and continue building upon your character. Now, New Game Plus is what no one really asked about, and that's what I'm mostly curious about. But since WB Games hasn't said anything, I'm assuming New Game Plus is not going to be in Hogwarts Legacy. Maybe that's going to be a post-release update if it's even necessary. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to see New Game Plus. But it's good to hear that the game just doesn't end once you finish it, that you do have the option of continuing the story. The side quests and things like that. Now, we have Anton who says, hi, and thank you for your work and answering what you can. I have only 2 questions. Can you eat and drink in the game? Like, for example, going to Hogsmeade for butterbeer or any other food? Yeah, that's actually a really, really good question. And the answer is surprising. Yes, you can actually do that. So there's some interactivity to be had in this world. It's not a stagnant world. It's very interactive and alive in many different ways beyond just facing off against enemies and that sort of thing. So for me to hear that, that is excellent news. And remember to check this out right here. That's right, I'm doing a very big next-gen console giveaway. So for a chance to win a PS5, Xbox Series X, or Nintendo Switch, be sure to follow that link in the pinned comment. Good luck to everyone who enters. All right, so thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Hogwarts Legacy videos, and yes, open world gaming. Goodness, there's a lot happening with open world games in 2023. I've seen the release list and it is looking really, really good. So you're definitely going to want to subscribe. Smack that like button if you want more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.